Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another daily drop here on Tarheel 24/7. I'm publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, North Carolina football coach Bill Belichick. But before I continue on with this, quick reminder, 75% off for a one-year subscription to Tarheel 24/7. Tons of stuff, guys. Tons of stuff. If you were with us before at our last stop and you haven't yet signed up, if you liked us there, you're going to adore us on the 24/7 sports platform. We have so much more to offer now. It is incredible. I'm loving every minute of this. We've got content out the wazoo, tons of football recruiting, tons of basketball recruiting, tons of Carolina football and basketball coverage. And of course, we've got our in-house guys, Seth Gutman on football, the great David Sisk on basketball, and so on. So make sure you sign up. It's just 75% off, man. That's incredible. That's a great deal. So you're only paying 25. I should have said just 25% is what you pay. Wow, it's 75% that you get off. Okay, Bill Belichick. My approach to covering Bill Belichick when I first learned and heard from sources that he's going to be the next football coach was okay. Everyone has their take on him being a curmudgeon. He doesn't talk to the media. He disdains the media. You don't ask him a question like he's going to bite your head off. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the way he was in New England. I haven't seen him like that since he got to North Carolina. My approach has been spend every second I can in his vicinity, as close as I can get, to just try to get a vibe for him, get a feel for him. It was easy with Mac Brown. Mac made it easy. It wasn't terribly difficult with Larry Fedora. It wasn't difficult with some of the other coaches I've covered. Roy Williams, Hubert Davis. You kind of get a vibe for him. But Belichick's different. He's different because many people consider him the greatest football coach of all time, and also consider him one of the great curmudgeons of all time, that's not a word that I associate with him. I'm just saying what other people associate with him. My experiences so far are actually pretty good. And I say that because the negatives that everybody warned, I had friends say, oh man, he's going to bite your head off. First question you ask. No, my experience is very different. I've been told by a couple of people who, I'm not going to say they're real close to it because I don't know how many people could get too close to him or that close to him, but he's getting comfortable in the college scene, understanding that we are liaisons to the owners. With the Patriots, he reported to Robert Kraft. Here, he's got millions of you to report to, essentially, and we are the liaisons for that. So what I've gauged so far in the number of times I've been around him, which is what, 8, 9, is that he is who he is. He's completely genuine. Jacob and I did a podcast Saturday after the first practice. We went in this direction a little bit, and I said, there's no coach speak with him. It's just Belichick speak. And Belichick speak is either he sort of answers the question, doesn't answer the question, and sometimes will tell you he can't answer the question and why. Something that, like, for example, he was asked a question about the CFP in Charlotte. He's like, well, I haven't been to a season. I can't answer that. I don't have anything to go by. So I respect that. And some things he's just not going to give us information, but it's not coach speak. He's not telling us how they're 3 deep at every spot, and how much better Johnny is, and how incredible Steve is now. And boy, Johnny's been in the weight room all year. Every time I go there, he's grinding it out. He's pumping the iron. We need him. He's going to be great for us. We're not getting any of that. And I'm not saying that was trivial when previous coaches have done stuff like that. I thought it was fairly real, and that's just the way they go about things. There's really no wrong way, and there's kind of no right way. And that's why I think this is the Belichick way. I want to learn the Belichick way in college. And so far, my vibe is he's who he is. There's no frills. There's no crap. There's no BS. He is who he is. And I like that. I actually like sitting in a press conference and he's answering questions. I have not always been like that with every coach. But with him, if he gives us something, take it to the bank. It's legit. If he says something about a player and it's positive about the kind of guy he is and maybe what his potential could be if he goes there, take it as fact because he knows what he's looking at. And he's also very calculated in what he says in the sense that he just doesn't say much. Some coaches will think about saying something and catch themselves, and they won't go there. Belichick just kind of has this whole procession within that. Imagine a traffic jam. All these cars are trying to go to the same place, and they get bottlenecked. For Belichick, once you hit the bottleneck, only a few things come out. That's the way it's always been. He doesn't have to sit there and say, well, I'll let that car through, but I won't let that car through. It's just natural. And that's what I like about him. And it's like that with everything. The way he answers questions about the team for how they're going to approach this coming month. He says, we're just going to evaluate. He's not talking TCU. He's not talking sense of urgency. He's not hitting the panic button saying, my God, we only have 18 more practices. We've got to get this fixed. I'm sure he sits in the staff room and says, look, guys, we've got 18 more practices. We got to get some of these things worked out. But he's not operating full steam ahead like that. That's just one of many little things. There is a precision to what he does. There is a complete peripheral awareness to everything he does. He's the guy that finds the needle in the haystack. He can stand back here and look at the entire haystack. If there's a needle in there that needs to be found, that needs to be dealt with for his team, he's going to find it. And that's why I think this is going to be a very organized team. That's why I think it's going to be a very prepared team. And he's, in my opinion, my gauge is I don't think he's going to be a coach who stands up in there and says, I'm baffled that we played the way we did. I'm stunned at how we made that mistake over and over and over. He could because it's college kids. And it wasn't like every Patriots team he coached was hoisting a trophy at the end of the year. He had some bad teams there that made a lot of mistakes. However, I do think a college football coach ultimately has more control over his team's development, perhaps than an NFL coach. I don't want to get into why, but I think that. And because of that, and because of the attention to detail, and I think there's a lot more yes or no, sir, going on among the players with him and his staff, that's the kind of outfit he's going to put forth moving forward in every conceivable way. You can go and have 50,000 boxes to check about what's in a program. And I think they're all going to be checked pretty much the right way. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Doesn't mean they're going to perform really well. It doesn't make them more talented. Doesn't mean the roster is better because of that. But I do think that they will squeeze more out of the roster than some coaches would. And I think that when he talks about what they do wrong and what didn't go well, we're going to get some legitimate stuff. I think when we ask him about things that do go very well, we're going to get some legitimate stuff. We're not going to get a ton. He's not going to cut himself open and let everything out either way. He's not going to use the media as a vehicle to get things out there, to speak to his team. He's going to speak to his team. That's going to be it. It's not going to go through us like some coaches have done and do. What you see is what you get. He is who he is. And that's a simplistic topic and maybe a vanilla podcast, but it's who he is. And that's our job. If it's all vanilla, we're supposed to report, hey, it's all vanilla. If there's some strawberry, we report, hey, there's some strawberry. And it is vanilla. And I like it. Because it tells me that if you pay attention and a couple things trickle out here and there, that there's value to what does trickle out. That's my take. That's my read. I really can't wait till the next time we get him, because it's one more opportunity to get a vibe, to get a feel, to kind of learn about him. And I'm really enjoying that process. I've been fortunate to cover some great coaches, some Hall of Famers, not just in North Carolina, but other places. And now I get to cover perhaps the greatest of all time in the most popular sport in the country. Pretty cool. And so far, I have not been disappointed. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning. I'm sitting back and just kind of letting things unfold, which is sort of how he does it in a sense, because he likes to say, we'll see what happens. Of course, there's a lot going on behind that, but I love that approach. I give him an A so far. You guys might not. I am. We'll see if that changes after TCU and they lose. Maybe suddenly the curmudgeon comes out and it's a C-. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so far, so good. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about his approach. Let me know what kind of vibe you have of the way Belichick goes about things. You're not getting a ton of information. We all want information, but are you okay with that? Are you okay with his delivery, with his method? Does it give you a sense of confidence and calm that he's in charge, that there really isn't a whole lot of chaos going on, that he does find that needle in the haystack, and he teaches his staff how to find those too? So they're not going to miss the small things. They're going to see them, and they are big things when they see them. Let me know what you guys think. And make sure you go to our site, Tarheel 24/7, and sign up. 75% off. If you were with us before and you're kind of debating, like, I know it's a lot of money, it's hard-earned money, but it'll be well worth the investment. If you were passionate about the Tar Heels, you are going to get a crap load of information and content on Tarheel 24/7 that you're not going to get a lot of other places. So come on over, enter the fray, and also let us know what you think about your take on Bill Belichick, his approach, his delivery so far. I'm AJ, and I appreciate you stopping by.